Hi, I'm Natalie Zaks, and here's an interview with the famous Queen Marie Antoinette.
Hi, who are you? Please give me some background information in case some of our viewers don't know.
Well, I was Princess of Austria, and when I was 14 in 1770, I was married off to Louis XVI to form an alliance between France and Austria. I eventually became the Queen of France.
Wow, well, that must have been really fun. How was that?
It was wonderful. Every day there were delicious meals, luxurious clothes, and I would go to different parties every single day and have the time of my life.
And I'm presuming things changed after that, didn't it?
They did, but it was for the worst.
When did your people start to make you worry for your safety?
Well, this was in 1789 when I found out that the Bastille had been torn apart to pieces. This eventually became the catalyst of the French Revolution.
How were you taken into captivity by your own people? That must have been really bad.
Well, a mob of people killed my guards and took my family and my ladies-in-waiting as captive in 1789. They took us to the Tuileries Palace in France. We were virtually prisoners, although we weren't in jail. We tried to flee in 1791, but failed. In 1792, my entire family was captured and put in jail, accused of treason. This was while France was at war with Prussia.
Why did they despise you?
Well, first of all, I wasn't French, and this was a horrendous crime in the eyes of the French nationalists that even their queen wasn't from their own country. And there were a lot of scandals, such as the diamond scandal, involving me and my riches. And according to my people, I was putting France into debt because of my lavish spending on my hair, my clothes, and different parties.
Where were you put in captivity?
The concierge prison in Paris.
How was life like there?
It was horrendous. In addition to worrying about my husband's and children's safety, my best friend, the Princess de Lambelle's head, was paraded outside my window on a pike.
Wow, that's really harsh. I mean, did you think that they were going to be executed?
Well, yes, of course. It was inevitable.
Then what happened?
Well, there was a trial on October 14th, 1793. I knew I would be executed by the guillotine either way.
What happened during the trial?
During the trial, everyone who had to say anything negative about me or my character testified to court. My main line of defense was that I was not responsible for any of my actions. I was just obeying my husband's orders.
What were you accused of?
Well, I was accused of having inappropriate relations with my son. People actually went as far as to accuse me of that. I was also charged on the counts of treason, conspiracy, and collusion with domestic and foreign enemies.
What happened on your last hours?
Well, my last hours, I heard my sentence at 4 a.m. that I was guilty. This was after my 2-day trial. At 5 a.m., I wrote a letter to my sister-in-law, Elizabeth, and the drums outside began to beat in anticipation of my death. At 8 a.m., a priest came to my jail cell to hear my final confession, but I refused to share it. And at 10, my hair was cut by my executioner, Sanson.
I heard you wrote a letter to your sister-in-law, Elizabeth, while in captivity. Can you recite it?
Okay. This is the letter. This 16 October, 4:30 in the morning. It is to you, my sister, that I write for the last time. I have just been condemned, not to a shameful death, it is such only for criminals, but to go and join your brother. Innocent like him, I hope to show the same steadfastness as is clear. I deeply regret leaving my poor children. You know that I lived only for them, and you, my good loving sister. You who would have by your friendship sacrificed everything to be with us. What position I leave you in?
When were you taken to the guillotine?
I was taken to the guillotine on October 16th, 1793 at 11 o'clock.
And how did it happen exactly?
Well, I was driven in an open cart, as opposed to my late husband, who was in an elaborate carriage. This was at Place de Revolution.
How did you feel when you were at the scaffold?
Well, I held my head high. I was determined not to show any fear. I cooperated, unlike many others, when they were by the guillotine.
Wow, well, what were your last words?
My last words were, "Pardon me, sir, I did not mean to do it." I stepped on the executioner's foot.
Did you feel any pain when the guillotine fell?
When the guillotine fell, I didn't feel anything. It was surprisingly quick. My head was cut off at 12:15. The crowd cheered, and I even heard that a man rushed to the scaffold to soak his handkerchief in my own blood. I was only 37.
Well, thank you for having this amazing, informative interview with me.
You're welcome.